Hey, what's going on, everyone? Jonathan Davis here with Davis AutoSports, bringing you guys another beautiful 2002 Toyota Tacoma. This is obviously a double cab SR5 pre-runner. This is a one-owner, Carfax certified, guaranteed vehicle, flawless history. Carfax does show this as a two-owner only because the previous and only owner um, lived in Virginia, moved to California, and had to get a title once they got out there to sell to us in late 2020. So it's been one owner, privately owned since day one. Carfax doesn't distinguish names on titles. Anytime a title is actually issued, they're going to count that as a owner. Nonetheless, we did a ton of work to this Tacoma in true DAS fashion. We brought this to our service department and over-serviced this thing. Absolutely anything that showed any area of concern, even small amounts of wear, we went ahead and did it. When we get Tacomas in, sometimes we have some different approaches. We don't have many on the market right now. We actually have none. So we really wanted to bring a special one to market. 138,000 miles. As we walk around it, you see it's in absolutely beautiful condition. But we service this thing, I mean, retail wise, no exaggeration. If you were to go to a shop and do what we did, I mean, you're upwards of probably $7,000 or $8,000. I'll go through the whole laundry list here in a moment. I want to knock out the exterior condition. It is absolutely beautiful. We did perform our full paint correction service on this. That's about a 4-day service with 2 guys on it all day long. If you're unfamiliar with paint correction, long story short, we're essentially wet sanding a very thin coat of clear coat off of it, and then with multiple steps of high-speed compounds, polishes, and buffs, bringing that existing layer back to life. I do want to make perfectly clear that wet sanding doesn't apply paint or clear coat, and if there's anything through the paint or clear coat, it's not magic. It's just going to make the clear coat have a better pop, a better shine. That's why the paint looks like the way it does. But if there's rock chips that went through the paint, you're not going to be able to fix that with paint correction. Also want to point out too, the front bumper cap, we took that off and repainted that. Same thing with the headlight lower lids below that. And everything black that you see on this, we actually repainted black as well. But we'll do some close-ups. As nice as this truck is, guys, it's an 02. It's got 138,000 miles. Please don't expect a flawless truck. However, we're going to go through and show you everything that we can. A couple little rock chips here and there that have been touched up. But overall, there's zero damage, and it's absolutely gorgeous truck. Sitting on pretty much like new Michelins, but we'll go over all that here in a moment. We got a brand new rear bumper that we put on here. These factory bumpers, as you're well aware, are notorious for that chrome starting to pit off and peel off. Chrome is actually a dip. It's not a real metal. I'm sure many of you guys know that. So we went ahead and replaced that. Nice factory bed liner. Dropping, of course. I do want to make clear that the roof is in beautiful condition. A lot of the paint on these roofs are tore up. This was a garage kept truck. I'll have to double check, but it looks like we actually may have replaced the, yeah, we did. We replaced the front chrome portion of the bumper as well. So you got new bumpers front and rear. I mean, the laundry list on this truck is huge. We've had this truck in for a number of months. We haven't been working on it for months, but you know, we're very busy with many restorations here, so we can't get on a truck like this full time. So as you guys see, cosmetically, it's beautiful. I mean, when I say there's a couple blemishes, I mean, we're talking very small little scratches, nothing major whatsoever. All very, very minor. I mean, it's just a beautiful condition truck. I'll show you the grain gutters here in the tailgates. Usually that area is plagued with rust. Nice and clean there. I'm not going to show you the bottoms of every single door, but we have them in photos. All the bottom of the doors are perfect. Rocker panels are perfect. Dog legs are perfect. Corner cabs are perfect. So that's it cosmetically. I'm going to go through this laundry list of stuff that we did. I actually have a cheat sheet with me just because it's so much. So there was no records of the timing belt and water pump being done. However, when we inspected it, it looked to be in fair condition, but it didn't look new or relatively new. So we went ahead and did that full service. And when we do that, we do timing belt, water pump, idler pulley, tensioner, the whole entire kit. We also did valve cover gaskets, both sides. We did leaf spring bushings. We did all 4 shocks all the way around, and those are Gasmatic shocks. We also did front struts as well. We did new calipers, rotors, and pads. We did up front a new radiator, AC compressor, AC condenser, AC dryer. And also, let me just make this clear. For a lot of you guys that follow us, you know what we do. So some of you guys may say, oh, well, that truck must have been a piece of crap if it needed all that. No. Since we are by nature a restoration company, for the brakes, for example, it needed rotors. Anytime you do rotors, you obviously do pads. Not all shops, but you should. And the calipers were original. They came off. We're under the mindset where if we're going to take off an old part, we're not going to put an old part back on that's nearly 20 years old. It's just foolish to do that. So in a situation like that where it truly just needed rotors, we did pads, and then calipers come off. So we're going to do calipers because we're trying to make this a really, really nice truck. Same thing with the AC system. The compressor was making a little bit of noise. It was intermittent, but the condenser was leaking a little bit. So ideally, when you do it, you want to do the system. So back to that, AC compressor, condenser, receiver dryer. It had the original exhaust system. It was starting to show its age. Trying to make this truck perfect. Shouldn't say perfect, trying to make it as nice as we can within a respectable budget. We went ahead and replaced the exhaust system as well. New muffler, tailpipe, and as I spoke on earlier, new front chrome bumper. I'm actually looking at the notes here. We did replace that. New rear chrome bumper and the painted pad and the painted panels underneath the headlights. Probably some other items that we did along the way, of course, full detail inside and out. The truck came with a beautiful set of Michelin tires, so we sort of got lucky there. And as you see, they're in great condition. That's a radial LT2. That's a very, very pricey tire. And that's a 265/70/16. So it's a little bit bigger than the factory size, so it gives it a nice beefy look. As you see there, a new tailpipe, part of the new exhaust system that we did. You can peek through there, see the new AC condenser, behind that the new radiator. For all you guys in certain areas, radiator. So she is a beautiful truck. We also have a lot of pictures of the undercarriage. Undercarriage is very, very clean on this truck. Inside is literally, I would typically say 10 out of 10, but I can never really say that, so I'm going to give it a strong high 9 out of 10. It's truly mint, in my opinion, for the year and mileage. Non-smoker. Those are the original floor mats. That's just markings from my shoe getting in and out. That plastic portion of the seat is usually cracked up, and as you see, no issues there. Non-smoker. I don't buy vehicles where they were smoked in. I don't smoke. I personally can't stand it. And also, especially in these Tacomas with the velour interior, they burn up really, really quick. You'll see all sorts of burn marks in there if it was. Cigarette lighters never been used, and this thing is just clean as can be. No odors. There was no pet hair. I mean, this thing is super clean on the inside. All the bottom of the doors are absolutely perfect. We have a bunch of pictures of those. And also, if you guys are viewing this on YouTube, this is not our full advertisement. So if you're looking for a price and all that stuff, go to our website, where we only use this video or YouTube to host our video. Our website is davisautosports.com. You can get more information on this truck, and you can see all of our other Tacomas in inventory as well. If you're seeing any variation in the seats, that's not a stain. That's sort of the suede material that it is. I know for a lot of you guys, y'all know this, but you'll be amazed on the emails we get saying the seats look stained and everything else. So we sort of got to repeat ourselves in these videos for all the first time viewers. Also, anything that we don't show in this video, we're going to show in pictures, undercarriage, stuff like that. Also want to point out too that this truck has every single factory VIN plate on every panel, meaning those are the original panels that were on the truck when it left the factory. Therefore, no panels were replaced. I'll give you a close-up of the bottom of these doors. Same thing with the rockers. Usually that pinch weld back there gets super funky. No issues whatsoever. Another area of concern here, I mean, 100% perfect, no previous repairs, no paint work. Same thing with the corner cabs, literally perfect. I mean, for a factory floor mat, I mean, this thing was just so well taken care of. I mean, the carpets are in great condition. This thing is just so clean. It is a tan interior. Dash is very clean. Usually it has dye coming off. That's real common. Cigarette lighter's never been used. I'll go ahead and crank it up while I'm over here. All your books and manuals. Clean, clean, clean. We'll go ahead and take this thing on a quick test drive. I'll have in the listing all the work that we did, and feel free to call Toyota. Well, if you call Toyota and get quotes on that, you'll probably be 10,000. But even if you call a typical service station that has regular hourly rates of whether it's 85 or 130, depending on where you live, you'll probably get quotes upwards of $7 grand for all that work. And keep that in mind. That includes the reconditioning that we did, which obviously service stations don't have the ability to paint correct, but call any fine detail shop in your area. Some may not even know what it is because very few people actually do it, but if you do find a place that does it, you'll be very surprised on how expensive it is, because it's very tedious. It takes somebody with years of experience to know how to do it properly. You're using sandpaper on paint, so you can literally sand right through it if you're not careful. Most shops charge, and we don't add this to the price of the truck, but most shops for a truck this size, you would get on the very, very low in $1,500. And gosh, on something this size, if you were to go into a shop and it was a $200,000 truck, they have a tendency to charge you more because of what you're driving. But there's shops that do paint correction upwards of $4,000, which obviously is absurd. But industry price standards usually about $1,500 to $2,200-$2,300, depending on size and color. Black is more. Nonetheless, so we're driving this thing and she is smooth as can be. All the mechanicals, literally, I just went through the whole list, have all been done. Your brake system, your AC system, your suspension, timing belt, water pump, your seals, your gaskets, your shocks, which I already said suspension. It's all done. I mean, this thing is tracking smooth as can be, and we're on a very bad road with nothing but semi trucks that travel on it all day long. There's huge ruts and crowns in this road, and she's smooth as can be. At 138,000 miles on this setup, I mean, with all the servicing that we just did, this truck's good to go. They're known to go 300, 400, 500, 600,000 miles. Typically what happens before they even reach those miles, or the rocker panels start to rust, their frame starts to rust, but you have to take care of them mechanically and they will last, and this one obviously has been all taken care of. Michelin tires drive great. You have the factory Toyota windshield as well. The stamping's in the corner. Windshield's in great condition. All the power components have been tested. They all work exactly. Whoa, that was a big boy. All work exactly as they should. Power windows, power locks, power mirrors. Obviously, new AC system. It works great. Radio works great. We don't turn the radio on during the videos. YouTube will get us for copyright. I mean, just smooth as can be. We typically sell anywhere from 5 to 8 Tacomas a month. We know the market very well. We like to think that we sell some of the nicest Tacomas out there. Our Tacomas are sold all over the country on a regular basis. We try to find the cleanest, nicest ones that we can possibly find, and then bring them into our shop and fully service and recondition them. And therefore, our Tacomas are not cheap, but you're also getting a premium product, both cosmetically and mechanically. So you can spend the money up front and know you're getting a quality truck, or spend less and get a less quality truck that you're going to have to go pay full retail pricing if you want it to be nice on everything. And that's sort of why we sell so many of these. We'll have someone call in, ask a price of our Tacoma. We'll tell them. They'll say good luck and laugh at us. We'll get a phone call 5 minutes later and someone buys it right there on the spot. So if you know what you're looking at and you've been searching for these, you know the values of them, you know the value that we put in them, people have no problem. And I get it, some people are looking for a cheap knockaround truck, and that's not what we sell. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to contact us at 855-955-3377. Before emailing us, please make sure to look at all the pictures, read all the content, watch the entire video. 9 times out of 10, the questions we get are clearly answered in our listing. We spend literally about 1 full day once the vehicle is done just putting together the listing, between videos, pictures, writing the content, uploading it all. So we spend a lot of time doing that, and it can be a little frustrating when we get 10, 15 phone calls or emails per day, only because we're limited on time, but the questions are clearly answered in the listing, and that's why we spend so much time on these listings. So just do us a favor, look at all the pictures, read the content. If you have any questions from there, we'll love to hear from you. 855-955-3377. Thank you.